Hey guys, thanks for joining us here at Enduro E-Bikes Canada. Have we got a treat in store for you? Today we're going to be unboxing our 5,000 watt Fat Tire Enduro E-Bike, showing you how you can assemble your very own. Without further ado, let's grab our trusty box cutter and get this show, and eventually your e-bike, on the road. The use of a smoke machine is entirely optional, but it does make for some pretty cool atmospheric shots. Once you've got the box open, with all of your fingers and thumbs intact, take a moment to familiarize yourself with the bike's components, making sure to keep things neat and organized for maximum bike building efficiency. As you can see, we've opted for a Fat Tire 5,000 watt e-bike here, complete with an awesome camo design. We've also got the Renegade front fork, plus our standard handlebars with a comfy padded seat. Opening up further boxes reveals the front tire, our pedals, lights, and the all-important charger. And there's even a toolkit included, which has everything you'll need to assemble your very own e-bike. How convenient. Clearing some space and laying everything out in front of you is a habit we highly recommend. It's almost as satisfying as peeling off the plastic. Oh yeah, that's the ticket. After unwrapping the handlebars, complete with the horn and display unit, you'll find your bike's key fob attached to your handlebar with a zip tie. Be careful when cutting this zip tie, here and anywhere else on the bike, as you don't want to scratch the paintwork before you've had the chance to show it off. Now let's start putting this baby together. Screwing in the pedals is simple enough, although be aware that they are side specific. So if they're not going in easily, then you're probably screwing them in on the wrong sides. Once you've got your lefts and rights figured out, you can tighten them with the use of a wrench. To attach the bike's rear light, feed it into the mount located on the bike's frame, using washers and nuts to fix it in place, like so. To tighten, hold the nuts in place using a wrench while using a screwdriver from the other side. It's a lot less fiddly this way. Next, let's get our seat sorted by sliding the pole into the frame and rotating the lever near the rear light mount. This will tighten around the seat post to hold it in place. This same lever is also how you adjust the height of your seat, by being able to lock and unlock it from its position. Assuming you want your rear light to actually function, we better go ahead and connect the light cables, making sure to line up the color coordinated tabs and not just brute force them together. Moving on to the rear mudguard, this slots onto the bottom of the seat post. There are inserts of varying thickness to ensure it stays snug and secure while riding. Once in position, you can tighten and adjust it using the screws on either side. Heading to the front of your e-bike next, unscrew this bracket from the headset. Then, retrieve your bike's horn from the massive wires. Unscrew the bolt from its fitting and fix your horn to the aforementioned bracket as shown. Before the horn goes on the bike though, now you need to take out the two top screws off the handlebar mount, put the handlebar in position, reattach the mount, and voila! Your horn is now ready to be received as the good Lord of e-bikes intended. Remember to tighten all points with an Allen key, making sure the handlebar and horn stay level. For our next trick, we're going to mount the display. This involves unscrewing the top screw and cover from the headset, placing the display centrally over the hole, and then reattaching the top screw and cover, thus holding the display perfectly in place. You might want to hold and center the display with your offhand as you're fixing it in place, at least if you want it to end up facing the right direction, that is. You can always take a seat and make sure everything's lined up from a rider's perspective. From here, you can tighten the side screws of the headset as well, and test to see if there's too much give in the handlebars. To make a good connection with your bike, you gotta make sure that all of its components are connected properly too, like the brake cable and light at the front. This Velcro pouch will house and protect several connectors, so you can remove it for now, but make sure to set it aside and strap it back on later. If you need to loosen up the bike's side panel to get more slack in the cables, this can easily be done by hand. Remember, you don't want a mess of cables, but you don't want everything to be too tight either. The Velcro ties and pouch will help keep everything neat and tidy. With the wires sorted, the front light can then be screwed in place over the top. Just like a shy schoolboy, you want the light facing straight ahead but looking a little bit down, so you can just about see a bright future as well as the road ahead. Tuck in his shirt, aka the light cable, and you're looking like A+ work. The next thing to do is remove your bike's side panel so you can access the bike's electrical system. To activate it, remove the safety plug from both of the main gray Anderson power connectors. Ensure polarity, connect them, and reinstall the power connector into the bike like so. If you hear a spark upon connection, don't panic. This is completely normal due to the high voltage. I mean, if you want to prank your buddies with a Jurassic Park style fake electrocution, that's totally your call. Do make sure the yellow charge port connector is also connected though. Your next assignment, ironically, is to locate your bike's GPS. It can be found after taking off your bike's side panel, and it looks like this. Take a picture of the GPS module's IMEI number on your phone, as you'll need it later. It's crucial that you make sure the device is switched off and that the module is unplugged from the bike. This will ensure the GPS has a proper turn-on sequence. After inserting your SIM card, now you can go ahead and reconnect the GPS module to the bike. Now, flick the GPS switch into the on position and you'll be greeted with 3 solid lights. That means you've been successful and you can now reinstall the GPS module's cover. After you've done this, go ahead and place some double-sided tape over the module's tamper sensor. This is so that if someone messes with your bike and attempts to discard the GPS to lose tracking, or if they tamper with the bike in some other way, you'll be sent a notification to your phone letting you know that someone's up to no good. For best results, be sure to mount the GPS module in a location where the top cover remains accessible or facing the sky. To link your GPS device, go to the TrackSolid Pro app, go to Add Device, type in the IMEI or scan the GPS barcode. It'll let you enter a device name, and once saved, the app will show you all of the bikes you have registered and their location on the map. With that all set, reattach your bike's side panel and we're almost at the final stages. As it stands though, your e-bike is still a unicycle. So let's get that front wheel sorted out. The front mudguard can be attached to the front of the upper fork by inserting this rubber cylinder into the underside of the fork. The mudguard should be positioned with the longer section preventing splashback towards the bike, and screwed in place with the use of a wing nut. When you tighten the screw, the rubber cylinder will expand, thus keeping the mount and the mudguard firmly in place. Next, if you're lucky enough to have a friend nearby, have them or you lift the front of the bike so that the front wheel can be moved into position. You'll need to remove the front crossbar from the fork first, however, and when that chunky tire is in place, replace the crossbar through the fork and tire before screwing and locking it into position. We're on a roll now. Well, almost, because we need to put some air in those tires first. A good starting point is 11 psi, and you can adjust to match your rider weight as needed. Do not exceed the max tire pressure rating on the sidewall, however, because then you probably won't be going anywhere at all. Speaking of which, it's time to start this thing up. So grab your keys and have at it. By giving it a turn, your display should come on automatically, and you can test out the horn, lights, and other buttons on the handlebar. For added style points, you can also use your key fob to unlock and activate your bike. But that's not all. Try testing out the alarm system, which could be pretty loud, especially in a closed space, so be warned. Once armed, if anyone tries moving your bike without permission, both you and they will certainly know about it. That wraps up how to set up and configure your 5,000 watt Fat Tire Enduro E-Bike after taking initial delivery. If you guys need any product support setting up your own bikes after taking delivery, feel free to reach out to your assigned WhatsApp support group and they'd be more than happy to help you set up your bike. For future product videos and riding footage of this bike, make sure to subscribe to the Enduro E-Bike's YouTube channel. This is your host, Brandon, signing off for now.